Let's be brutally honest, brother. She doesn't want you right now. Not because you're not good enough, not because you're not attractive, but because you've made yourself too available. That's the cold truth most men refuse to hear. You see, in today's world, women aren't chasing the nice guy. They're chasing the man who doesn't need to be chased, and that's where most men fail. You think giving her attention, replying instantly, always checking on her, will make her choose you. Wrong. It makes you predictable, and predictable is boring. Women don't chase comfort. They chase curiosity, status, and emotional stimulation. The moment you stop living for her validation and start focusing on yourself, your mission, your goals, your peace, that's when she begins to notice you differently. Because when you move like a man who doesn't beg for attention, attention follows you naturally. This video isn't about playing games, it's about understanding dynamics. Women aren't attracted to desperation, they're attracted to direction. So if you've been wondering why she's distant, cold, or confused, this video will wake you up. Because after today, you'll finally understand that it's not about chasing her. It's about becoming the kind of man she has to chase. Let's break it down step by step. 1. Stop being her fan. Be her standard. Let's face it, too many men today act like fans, not equals. You treat her like a celebrity and yourself like a background extra in her movie. Every time she posts something, you're the first to like it. Every time she texts, you drop everything to reply. You praise her constantly, buy her things, and shower her with validation. But here's the harsh truth. Fans don't get chosen. They get ignored. When you act like a fan, you automatically put her above you. She becomes the prize, and you become the pursuer. And women can feel that energy instantly. They can sense when you've placed them on a pedestal, and the moment they feel it, their attraction begins to fade. Why? Because a woman can't respect a man who worships her more than he values himself. Being her standard means flipping the script. It means becoming the type of man she measures others by, not because you're arrogant, but because you have direction, boundaries, and confidence that doesn't depend on her approval. You're not chasing her, you're building your life, and she's either a part of it or not. That's masculine energy, quiet confidence with a sense of purpose. You don't impress a woman by over-complimenting her. You impress her by being consistent, ambitious, calm, and in control of your emotions. The moment she realizes you don't need her validation, she starts seeking yours. That's when the dynamic shifts, and she begins to chase. One example. Think about a man who always comments on her pictures, texts her good morning every day, and constantly checks if she's okay. She smiles, maybe replies, but she's not interested. Now compare him to another guy who talks to her only occasionally, focuses on his work, hits the gym, and lives his life confidently. Suddenly, she's checking his stories, wondering why he hasn't texted, trying to get his attention. See the difference? The first man chased her, but the second one became her standard, and she started chasing him. Ed to always comment on her posts or reply instantly to her texts. Then one day, you stop. You take hours to reply or don't reply at all. You focus on your goals, your hobbies, your fitness. At first, she'll act like she doesn't care. But soon, she'll post something just to get your reaction. She'll text, "Hey, stranger," just to see if she still has your attention. That's when you know the dynamic has changed. She's no longer being chased. She's chasing your energy. 2, attention is her drug. Don't be her dealer. Every man needs to understand this. Attention is currency, and too many of you are giving it away for free. Women love attention, not always because they want you, but because it makes them feel wanted. And once you start giving her that constant stream of attention, she doesn't see you as valuable anymore. She sees you as available on demand. That's the trap. You think attention will make her like you, but it only feeds her ego. She'll take your energy, your time, and your effort. But that doesn't mean she'll take you seriously. The more you give, the less she values it. Because when something is always available, it loses its worth. Stop being her dopamine fix. If she knows she can post a story and you'll instantly react, or send a random message and you'll jump to reply, she's in control. She doesn't have to chase. She already has your focus. Real men don't chase attention. They command it. You do that by shifting your focus to your own life, your goals, your body, your peace. When she sees that your time isn't easily bought with a selfie or a compliment, she starts wondering what makes you so focused, so different. That's when curiosity replaces control. Women respect men who don't overinvest emotionally. They notice when a man doesn't bite the bait, when he doesn't reply right away, doesn't double text, doesn't fall for attention traps. That's when she starts to chase your validation. When you're not her dealer, she begins to go through a withdrawal. She craves what you used to give freely. But this time, you control the supply. 2 example. Let's say you used to always comment on her posts or reply instantly to her texts. Then one day, you stop. You take hours to reply, or don't reply at all. You focus on your goals, your hobbies, your fitness. At first, she'll act like she doesn't care, but soon she'll post something just to get your reaction. She'll text, "Hey, stranger," just to see if she still has your attention. That's when you know the dynamic has changed. She's no longer being chased and she's chasing your energy. 3. Silence speaks louder than compliments. Here's something most men never realize. Your silence has more power than your words, especially when dealing with women. You see, every guy out there is talking too much, too eager to prove himself, too desperate to be liked, too quick to fill the silence with validation. But the man who can stay quiet, calm, and in control, that man stands out. When you're constantly complimenting her, telling her how beautiful she is, or trying to keep her entertained, it starts to lose meaning. She's heard it all before. Compliments are cheap when they come from a place of insecurity. But silence shows control. It shows that you don't feel the need to win her over. You're comfortable in your presence, and that energy is magnetic. Think about it. When you stop talking too much, you give her space to wonder. She starts asking herself questions. What's he thinking? Why isn't he trying so hard? Does he even like me? And that curiosity builds attraction far more than over-talking ever will. Silence doesn't mean being cold or rude. It means knowing when to speak and when to just let your presence do the talking. It means listening more than you explain. It means not reacting emotionally every time she tests you. A man who doesn't overreact earns respect because his emotions aren't easily manipulated. You ever notice how women chase the guy who doesn't say much? The one who just smiles, nods, and keeps it moving? It's because he's unpredictable. He doesn't seek approval, and that mystery drives them crazy. Women want to feel your presence, not be drowned in your words. So, the next time you're with her, don't rush to fill the silence. Don't feel the need to overcompensate. Just relax, observe, and let your calm energy do the work. A man who understands the power of silence doesn't need to impress. He already does. Because when you stop talking so much, she starts listening. And when she starts listening, that's when she begins to chase. 4, your value isn't in her hands. Men need to hear this, and not everyone will like it. Too many of you have forgotten who you are. You walk around acting like your entire worth depends on whether some woman chooses you or not. You let rejection break your confidence. You let her opinion decide how you see yourself. That's weak energy, and it's exactly why she doesn't respect you. Let me be real with you. Your value was never meant to be decided by a woman. You were supposed to build it yourself. But the problem is, a lot of men stopped building. You chase validation instead of purpose. You spend more time trying to impress her than trying to improve yourself. You give her your time, your focus, your emotions, and in return, you lose yourself. You lose. Here's the truth most men avoid. Women can sense when a man doesn't believe in himself. You might have the looks, the style, even the money, but if you're internally weak, she feels it. When you make her the center of your world, she loses interest. Because deep down, she's looking for a man who can lead, not one who constantly needs reassurance. You want her to value you? Then start valuing yourself first. Stop begging for respect. Earn it through discipline, self-control, and consistency. Get your life in order. Fix your posture, your mindset, your routine. When you start living with purpose, you don't need to say a word. People feel it. And here's the wake-up call. You're not the victim. You're just lazy with your potential. You let heartbreak or rejection define you instead of fuel you. You scroll, complain, and wait for life to change, but it never will. Not until you do. So stop handing your value to someone else. Stop letting her reactions determine your mood. Take it back. Stand tall, walk with purpose, and remember, The moment you stop needing her validation is the moment she starts chasing yours. Because a man who knows his worth doesn't beg to be seen. He becomes impossible to ignore. 5. She tests you to respect you. Here's something most men never understand. When a woman tests you, it's not always because she dislikes you. Sometimes it's because she's trying to figure out what kind of man you really are. Women don't test weak men. They test to see if you're strong enough to lead, calm enough to handle pressure, and confident enough to stay grounded when things get tough. Every time she pulls back, goes silent, or acts distant, she's watching how you react. Will you panic, beg for her attention, overthink and blow up her phone? Or will you stay composed and unbothered? Because here's the truth, your reaction tells her everything about you. If you get emotional every time she challenges you, she instantly knows you're not in control of yourself. And once she sees that, respect fades. Attraction follows right after. Men today fail these tests daily because they confuse emotional control with not caring. It's not about ignoring her. It's about not letting her actions control your emotions. When she tries to trigger you, stay calm. When she pulls away, focus on your purpose. When she questions your worth, don't explain yourself. Prove it through your actions. Every test is an opportunity to show her you're not like every other man. Most guys get defensive, argue, or chase harder, but the real ones, they smile, they don't react, and they keep moving forward. That's confidence. That's what earns respect. Let me say this clearly. A woman will never respect a man she can control emotionally. If she can push your buttons easily, you've already lost. But if you can remain solid, patient, and composed, even when she throws chaos your way, she starts to see you differently. She starts to feel safe in your strength. And once a woman respects you, attraction becomes natural. You don't have to chase, beg, or prove anything. She comes to you because you represent stability in a world full of fragile men. So the next time she tests you, don't take it personally. Take it as a challenge. Stay calm, stay focused, and remember, she's not trying to break you. Like she's checking if you're built to last. 6, the more you chase, the faster she runs. Every man has felt it, that frustration when you're chasing a woman who keeps slipping further away. You text her more, compliment her more, try to prove yourself, thinking maybe this time she'll see how much you care. But here's the hard truth. The more you chase, the faster she runs. It's not because she's cruel or manipulative. It's because of human nature. People don't value what's always available. When you make her your focus, you give away all your power. She doesn't have to earn your energy, she already has it. And once something comes too easily, it loses its excitement. Chasing creates imbalance. It puts her in control and you in pursuit. She decides when to reply, when to see you, when to give you attention, while you wait, overthink, and adjust your behavior around her mood. That's not attraction, that's dependency. Real attraction happens when she feels she might lose you, when she senses that your world doesn't revolve around her, when she realizes your time and attention are limited. That's when curiosity hits, because suddenly she's not sure where she stands. And uncertainty builds desire. But when you're constantly chasing, you remove that mystery. She knows you'll always be there, so she stops trying. She stops investing. She stops respecting. Men need to understand, it's not about playing games. It's about having self-respect. You can like her, appreciate her, even care about her deeply, but never lose your balance for her. Never let your interest turn into obsession. You want her attention? Then stop chasing and start attracting. Focus on becoming the man she wants to chase, the man who has direction, ambition, and self-control. That man doesn't text 5 times in a row. He doesn't over-explain or seek constant reassurance. He moves with confidence, and women naturally follow that energy. If you have to chase her, she's already halfway out the door. But if you focus on yourself, your goals, your growth, you'll notice something strange happen. The moment you stop running after her, she'll start running towards you, so stop chasing. Build yourself so strong that she has no choice but to notice. Because men who chase women lose power, but men who chase purpose, they attract everything else naturally. Everything else. 7, mystery is more attractive than perfection. Here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall for the man who's perfect. They fall for the man they can't fully figure out. And yet so many guys think that being flawless, predictable, and overly available will make her love them more. You show her everything too fast, your emotions, your schedule, your every thought. And before you know it, she's lost interest. Why? Because there's no mystery left to explore. Mystery isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about not giving everything away too soon. It's about letting her wonder what you're thinking, where you're going, what drives you. Women are emotional creatures. Curiosity fuels their attraction. When you reveal everything at once, you kill that curiosity. Perfection, on the other hand, is boring. When you're constantly trying to be the nice guy, the one who never disagrees, never challenges her, and always says the right thing, you blend in with every other man doing the same thing. Real attraction is built on contrast. She has to feel something unpredictable in you. Not chaos, but confidence with a touch of mystery. The man who holds a little back always wins her attention. He doesn't talk too much, doesn't post every detail of his life, and doesn't rush to explain himself. He's focused, calm, and hard to read. That uncertainty keeps her thinking about him long after the conversation ends. Women love discovering a man layer by layer. When she feels like she's slowly unlocking you, she gets emotionally invested. But if you hand her the whole story too soon, she has nothing left to chase. And let's be real, mystery takes discipline. It means resisting the urge to overshare or overprove yourself. It means being okay with silence, being okay with her wondering. Because when she's wondering, she's thinking. And when she's thinking, she's chasing. So stop trying to be perfect. Perfection feels safe, but it's forgettable. Mystery keeps her coming back. Be the man she can't quite label. Confident, controlled, and unpredictable enough to make her curious. Because in the end, it's not about being the man she understands completely. It's about being the man she can't stop trying to understand. 8. You're the prize. Start acting like it. Some men need to hear this loud and clear. You are the prize. Not her. Not her attention. Not her validation. You. But here's the sad truth. Most men today have forgotten that. You've been so busy chasing women, begging for attention, and competing with other men that you forgot your own value. You act like she's doing you a favor by talking to you. No, brother, that mindset is exactly why she doesn't respect you. When you see yourself as the prize, you stop tolerating disrespect. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing people who don't match your energy. You move differently, with confidence, with standards, and with purpose. And women feel that difference. They can tell when a man values himself and when he doesn't. The truth is, women are naturally drawn to men who act like they have options, not because they're arrogant, but because they know their worth. When a man truly understands that he's the prize, he doesn't need to brag or flex. His calm confidence says it for him. But most men have been conditioned to believe the opposite. You're told to earn her love, prove your worth, show her you care. That advice ruins men. Because when you make her the reward, you automatically lower your own status in her eyes. You give away your power. And women don't chase powerless men. You have to start walking like a man who brings value into every room he enters. You're the one with the vision, the leadership, the discipline. You're the one building, improving, creating. You're not desperate for validation. You're focused on your purpose. And when a man is living in his purpose, women naturally align with that energy. Here's the real mindset shift. You don't chase the prize chooses you, but the prize only chooses men who believe in themselves first. So stop begging for attention. Stop lowering your standards and stop settling for women who don't recognize your worth. The day you realize your time, energy, and focus are valuable, that's the day the dynamic changes. Because when you start acting like the prize, she'll start treating you like one. 9. Purpose first, women later. Let's be honest, most men get this completely backwards. You build your entire life around women and then wonder why they don't take you seriously. You spend your best energy chasing them instead of chasing your purpose. And that's exactly why you keep losing. Or because you're focused on the wrong mission. Listen carefully. A man without purpose becomes a slave to his desires. When you have no vision, no discipline, and no direction, you start chasing pleasure. Why? And that's when you get distracted by every pretty face that gives you attention. But when you're living with purpose, you don't have time to chase anyone. You're too focused on building, improving, and becoming. That's what separates men who lead from men who follow. Here's the truth: women are naturally drawn to men with drive, not just ambition, but focus. A man who's obsessed with his goals radiates something different. His energy feels stable, rare, grounded. He doesn't need constant validation because he's already validated by his own progress. You ever notice how the moment you stop caring, they start chasing? That's not magic, that's masculine energy at work. Women sense when a man is too available, too idle, too emotionally dependent. But when you're chasing purpose, you become unpredictable, harder to access, more valuable. That's when they start to notice you. You don't need to hate women. Just stop making them your purpose. Make your life your mission. Your body, your mind, your money, your faith, your peace. That's what comes first. Women are supposed to join your mission, not become it. The problem with too many men today is that you're lost in the chase. You put women on pedestals and forget that she's supposed to fit into your story, not the other way around. And when she realizes you've built your entire world around her, she loses attraction because there's nothing left for her to respect. So, here's your wake up call: find your purpose before you find your woman. Because if you build your life around her, you'll lose both. But if you build your life around your purpose, you'll attract the kind of woman who respects it and respects you. Remember, kings build kingdoms first, queens come later. 10. When you walk away, she follows. Here's the paradox every man needs to understand: you gain power the moment you're willing to walk away. Not out of anger, not as a game, but from genuine self respect. Because nothing is more attractive to a woman than a man who doesn't beg for her attention, doesn't chase her approval, and isn't afraid to lose her. You see, most men do the opposite. They panic when a woman pulls away. They start over texting, apologizing for things they didn't even do, trying to fix what she broke. That's desperation, and desperation kills attraction instantly. When you do that, you're telling her, you have control over me. But when you stay calm, focus on yourself, and walk away with dignity, the energy shifts completely. She starts questioning herself. Why isn't he trying anymore? Has he moved on? Did he lose interest? And that's when she starts chasing again, because now she feels the absence of your energy. Walking away doesn't mean you don't care. It means you respect yourself enough not to beg for love or attention. It means you understand that forcing something only makes you look weaker. Real men don't chase. They attract through strength, not desperation. Every time you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you send a message: I choose peace over approval. And that's exactly what separates men who get played from men who get respected. Remember, attraction thrives on uncertainty. When you're always there, always available, she feels secure, but not excited. When you pull back, she feels your absence, and curiosity grows. That's when she realizes your value. So stop chasing, stop convincing, stop explaining. Walk away, focus on your growth, and watch what happens. Because the moment you detach, you stop being an option and start becoming the standard. And the man who can walk away, he never has to chase again. Conclusion. Let's be real. Everything we've talked about comes down to one simple truth. The moment you become the man she can't control, you become the man she can't resist. Men today are too busy seeking comfort instead of respect. You want her to stay, but you forget she only stays when she feels something. That something isn't found in chasing, begging, or over-explaining. It's found in self-control, direction, and silence. Because when you're focused on becoming your best version, you don't just attract women, you attract peace, purpose, and power. Now here's the controversial truth, and I know some people will hate this. Most men today are not heartbroken because of women. They're heartbroken because they abandoned themselves trying to keep a woman who never even wanted them. Let that sink in. You lost yourself trying to prove your worth to someone who was supposed to see it on her own. If that hits you, don't just scroll away. Comment your experience below. Tell me where you are in your journey, what you've learned, or what mistakes you've made. I read every single one. And trust me, if your story stands out, I'll reach out personally, because this isn't just about talking at you. It's about building something with you. You're not alone in this. You're part of a generation of men finally waking up, finally reclaiming their worth, finally understanding the power of walking away. And in the next video, we're going even deeper. We're going to talk about why women respect boundaries more than feelings and how setting them changes everything. Stay tuned.